Hi everyone, my name is Fatia Pilasilagnia, and for my final project video today, I'm going to talk about systemic functional linguistics, which is SFL. I know systemic functional linguistics may sounds like a huge scary words, but don't worry, we're going to talk in a simpler term so you guys can understand it easily. So basically SFL is just a tool we use to understand how language works and why others use the words they do. So to do this, we look at three main systems in SFL. The first one we have here is theme and rhyme. Second, the mood system, and lastly, transitivity. Those are the three main systems that I'm going to talk with you guys about. Now let's look at the theory first so you aren't lost when we get in the analysis later on. So first of all, we have theme and rhyme. Think of the theme as the starting point of the message. It is the very first element you see in a sentence. It introduces what the clause is going to be about. And the second one is rhyme. Rhyme is simply everything else. It is the rest of the message where the new information is given about that theme. And we usually talk about two types of themes. First of all, we have unmarked theme. This is the standard way we speak. Usually, the subject of the sentence is the theme. It is expected. And we have marked theme. And this is when the author moves something else, like a time or a place, to the front of the sentence to grab your attention or shift the context. Next, let's talk about the mood system. This is the part where many people get confused, so let's go slow. The mood system looks at the grammar to see how people interact. To find this out, we divide the sentence into two main blocks, which is the mood block and the residue block. The mood block consists of two things. First, we have the subject, who or what we are talking about, and second, the finite. This is usually the verb that shows time, like is, was, has, or judgment like can or must. And why is this important? Because the mood block carries the argument. If you want to deny a sentence, you attack the finite. For example, it is become it is not. The residue block usually contains the predicator, which is the main action verb part, and then the complement, which is the extra info about the subject, and then the adjunct, which is the circumstance like time or place. So finally, we have transitivity. According to linguist Thompson, transitivity is simply the study of who does what to whom and how. It determines how we label the participants in a sentence. There are 6 different types of processes in English. First, we have material, which is processes of doing. Mental, which is process of sensing or thinking. Third, we have verbal, which is the processes of saying. Next one, we have relational, which is the processes of being or identifying. Next, we have behavioral, half physical, half mental actions. And the last one, we have existential, showing that something simply exists. Now that we have the theory down, I'm going to show you the result of my text analysis from an academic journal. For the data in this video, I will be analyzing a specific text from an academic paper published at Indonesian Applied Linguistics Journal, UPI. And the paper is titled Investigating Teachers' Professional Competence, a Systemic Functional Linguistic Analysis of Teachers' Report Text, which is perfect for my video. And it was also written by Mr. Sudarsono himself, who is actually my lecturer for this course. Specifically, I have selected 3 complex sentences from the abstract of this paper. So first, we're going to analyze the theme rhyme for the first sentence. The theme here is this research. This is what we call an unmarked topical theme. Why? Because this research is the grammatical subject of the sentence and it is in the first position. It acts as the topical theme because it tells the readers that the entire text following this is going to be about the study itself. While the rhyme is the rest of the sentence, starting from aims at observing. This provides the new information. Specifically, it tells us the goal and the method of this research. Now, we're going to analyze the mood for this sentence. The mood type here is declarative, which means it is a statement giving information. Let's find the mood block first. The subject is this research. The finite is actually hidden inside the verb aims because it is in the present tense. The finite is fused with the verb. So this research, which is our subject, plus aim, which is our finite, creates our mood block. And the rest of the sentence, at observing the teacher's professional competence, is our residue block. Specifically, at observing function as the complement because it completes the meaning of the verb. It fills in the details of what the research is aiming to do. Next, we are going to do some transitivity analysis for this. Here, we are looking at a material process. Even though aims sounds like a mental plan, in academic writing, we treat research as if it is a doer. So this research is labeled as the actor, the one performing the action. So the process is aims at observing. This is the actions being taken. The teacher's professional competence is the goal because it is the object that is being observed. And finally, we have a long phrase starting with by investigating. This is a circumstance of manner because it answers the question, how is the research doing this? It does it by investigating report text. Now, for our second sentence, the theme REM analysis, here the theme is to achieve this aim. This is a marked theme. It is marked because it is not the subject of the sentence. Instead, it is a phrase indicating purpose. The author used marked theme to create flow by putting to achieve this aim first. The author connects the sentence back to the previous one. So the rem is the rest of the sentence, which introduced the new information, the qualitative case study design. So for our mood system analysis for the sentence here, the mood type is still declarative for the sentence. However, finding the mood block is harder here because the subject is very long here. The subject is the entire phrase, a qualitative case study design involving analysis, blah, blah, blah. That is one giant subject. And the finite is the word was. It indicates the past tense. So the subject plus was forms the mood block. And the word employed is the predicator, which is the main verb part. And in this research is an adjunct giving us location. And this part forms residue block. And then let's look at the transitivity analysis for this sentence. This sentence is in the passive voice. The process was employed, which is a material process, but there's no actor here. We don't say who employed the design here. Instead, the subject, which is a qualitative case study design, is actually the goal. It is the thing that was used here. Then we have two circumstances in the sentence. First, we have to achieve this aim, which is our circumstance of purpose that answer the question why. And then second, in this research, which is a circumstance of location that answer the question where. And then for the final sentence, let's begin with the theme rem. We are back in a standard structure here. The theme here is the results of this research. This is an unmarked topical theme because it is the subject. It tells the reader, okay, we are done with this method. Now let's talk about the finding. The rem contains the new information, specifically what the teachers actually demonstrated. Now, this is my mood system analysis for my last sentence. So the mood type here is declarative. the mood block consists of the subject, the results of this research, and the finite, which is carried in the past tense verb showed. Remember, the mood block carries the argument. And if we wanted to argue this, we would say the result did not show this. And the entire rest of the sentence, starting with that generally, is the residue block. Specifically, it functions as a complement. And it is a long clause that tells us exactly what was shown. So the last one is transitivity analysis. This one is a bit more complex because it can be interpreted in two ways. Usually when results show something, we call it a verbal process or a relational process. So let's look at it as a verbal process. The result of this research acts as the sayer, the process is showed, and everything following the word that is the verbiage. The verbiage is simply the content of what was said or shown. So to wrap things up, we use theme rhyme to see how the author organized their message. We use the mood system to identify the subject, finite, and residue to understand the grammar and interaction. And we use transitivity to label the participants and processes to see who is doing what. I hope this video helped you understand SFL a little better. It is a great way to see how academic writing is constructed. Thank you for watching. Bye guys!